As you watch this video, I want you to keep in mind that I am not against EoC. If anything, I support it. I know that I criticize a lot of things about the final EoC beta in this video, but I'm not a hater. I'm simply just pointing out the flaws that are currently in it and why I believe that it is not ready to be released into the live game yet. Although Saradomin brews are clearly the best option for health restoration in the live game, they are surpassed by Rocktails in the current EoC beta, where they are able to heal more than 3 times as much as a single dose of brew. Jagex's main goal when designing the EoC is to enforce the effectiveness of the combat triangle, and in this newly developed combat triangle, magic is supposedly weak to range. However, in these clips you'll see that a magic setup that involves the use of the spell Storm of Armadil is easily able to defeat range. In the first clip, no abilities were used, and I didn't want food to be used in this fight, but my friend wearing the Pernix chose to use it anyway. But then again, his name is Rebel Guns. In this second clip, I permitted the use of Rocktails and abilities in my fight against my ranger opponent who has 99 ranged and Pernix. This is a more realistic battle that would be expected to occur between players in the EoC, where the full power of abilities is displayed. However, I'm easily able to defeat him with Storm of Armadil, which completely contradicts what is expected in the combat triangle. In the live game, it is widely known among almost all players that the Royal Crossbow is extremely ineffective in PvP situations where it hits at low speeds combined with hits that are never above 59. However, in the current beta, the Royal Crossbow functions well in PvP situations, but has no special ability as it does in the live game. Also, in the live game, the Royal Crossbow is a one-handed weapon, whereas it is a two-handed weapon in the EoC. Personally, I believe that Jagex choosing to strip it of its special ability eliminates what makes it unique, even if it is the strongest two-handed crossbow in the EoC. In the live game, a popular approach to killing the Tokhaar-Ket Dills in the fight Kiln is to send a Dreadnip to kill them, which completely negates the necessity of bringing a pickaxe to break through armor. In the live game, doing this only requires 2 Dreadnips on average, but in the EoC this method is extremely ineffective, as I was only able to rid the Dill of merely a fraction of its health with a single Dreadnip. The rest of this video will now be dedicated to discussing bosses and how much different it is killing them in the EoC rather than in the live game. The first boss is the Queen Black Dragon. In the beta I used a pretty overpowered setup with Pernix, Glaven Boots, dual rune crossbows, and Dragonbane bolts. When Jagex created the EoC, they designed it so that the best and quickest and most effective way to killing a monster would be to exploit its weakness, which can be viewed in the combat tab. However, the QBD has no weakness in the EoC, and even Dragonbane bolts proved to be ineffective against her, with my highest hit with them capping at around 630 damage, with Pernix, Overloads, and Anguish activated. In the beta, it took me 4 minutes and 23 seconds to defeat the first phase of the QBD, with me starting the timer as soon as I entered her lair. It is also important to note that there is a glitch where as soon as you activate a prayer in her lair, your screen will zoom in on you for about 1 second, which is yet another flaw with the current EoC beta. I compared how long it took me to defeat the QBD's first phase in the live game with how long it took me in the beta. Bear in mind that in the beta I was wearing stronger and more powerful equipment, whereas I used my own equipment that had the best range bonus to offer in the live game. And yes, I know I did a pretty bad job of preventing myself from getting hit in this clip, but the sole purpose of doing this was to complete this phase as fast as possible. It took me 2 minutes and 21 seconds to defeat the QBD's first phase in the live game, which is almost half the amount of time that it took me to do this in the beta. The next boss I fought in the beta was Nomad. I chose to use the Royal Crossbow in fighting him because it is the strongest two-handed crossbow in the EoC, and you can see that its special ability does not work in it. Anyways, I used very powerful equipment like Pernix when doing this, and throughout the entire fight I prayed Soul Split and Anguish. In the live game, Nomad hits you very accurately despite what you may be praying or what you may be wearing. However, Nomad hardly hit me at all in the beta because his attacks are extremely inaccurate, and plus his Soul Blast attack, which ordinarily deals 750 damage in the live game, doesn't deal any damage at all in the beta. All of this makes him an extremely weak opponent, especially since all you need to kill him with is Soul Split and a lot of prayer potions. Also, when fighting Nomad in the EoC beta, stepping on one of his mines will automatically kill you, despite how many life points you may have at the time, whereas in the live game, stepping on a mine deals 400 damage and completely depletes your run energy. The last boss I fought in the EoC beta was Nex. Bear in mind that I prayed Soul Split and Torment the entire time throughout this match, so I did not have the advantage of blocking 50% of her attack's damage with protection prayers. In this clip, I used Storm of Armadil to fight her, and you can actually see how incredibly overpowered it is when used against her. I was able to hit her very accurately with it, whereas in the live game using this spell against her has an extremely low success rate. Keep in mind that all the content in this video is recorded during the final beta of the EoC. There are many flaws in it that Jagex claims we fixed on EoC's release date. I don't know why they haven't just implemented these changes in the final beta, because that's just a failure on their part. I know that it can be easily debated whether or not some of the content in this video are actually flaws, but they are just things I've noticed. Although I do support EoC, because I know that it is a necessary update that will determine the future of this game, I honestly do not believe that it is ready to be released. Anyways, thank you for watching, and please comment your thoughts and subscribe if you have not already done so.